Welcome, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I'm back on Insight Timer with my good camera. That's nice. And I have two things going today, so I'm going to be looking back and forth. How's everybody doing? Feel free to jump in and say hello. How's your week been? What's been going on? What's been going on? Let's see. Christine is here. She says, good morning, Jacqui and friends. Jacqui says, greetings, Jacqui and lovelies. It is 6:15 Portland time. My alarm was set for 3:33 so I could wake up and get these notes done. And Belly, you guys met Belly the other day, right? This little dog that I'm dog sitting, this little Chihuahua mix. He's staring at me. He's been sleeping with me, which is fabulous. I love that he's sleeping with me. But he licked my ear at 2:40, so I've been wired. I've been up since then. Lots of coffee. So nice to see you guys. Let's see who else is here. I see Carmen says, good morning from Toronto. Welcome. Hello, Lisa. Sharon says, good morning. We have another Jacqui. Good morning. Jasmine is in bed with a migraine, but you're listening in. I'm glad to know, because I always think that my voice is like high-pitched and whiny. So I'm happy to know that my voice is tolerable during a migraine. Debbie says, good to see you all here from Maryland. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Lisa, ew, early start. You know, I'm actually a morning person. So I knew that I had to talk about 3 weeks of astrology, and I've known that for days. And it was in my to-do list for last night to sit down and do my notes. And yesterday, I did that thing where I started like getting overwhelmed with my work, and I was just going to sit here and work all day. And I'm like, you know what? A lot of people said that the Oregon Zoo was pretty cool. So I took myself to the Oregon Zoo. And then I took myself to the Harley dealership about an hour south. And then I got home and I ate dinner and I took care of the dogs. And I'm like, I would much rather wake up at 3:30 in the morning than sit down at 7 p.m. and do my notes. I am definitely a morning person, 100% a morning person. DG asks, have I been enjoying the Portland area? I have been. I really have been. I do like it here. The nature is gorgeous. There's so much to see here. I kind of wish I had more time, right? I'm here for a week and a half. I kind of wish I had more time to explore and venture, but I guess that's just learning, right? When I get this RV, I'm learning like how long I might want to post up at places. And I'm like last week and this week, I'm working a lot so I can have the next 2.5 weeks off while me and Matt just go drive around the Southwest. So I'm a little overwhelmed with getting stuff prepared, but I do like this area a lot. I wish it was warmer. I like the warmth. Good morning, Becky. Jenny, good to see you all. I've missed a lot of sessions. You know, they're always recorded on YouTube. If you want to hang out, you can always send a comment there and I'll get back to you. But it's really nice that you were able to make it today. Nice to see you. Michelle, my belle. Hi, family. Yes, good to see you, girl. Sorry for calling you out last time, but I'm glad you're back. April, wait, sorry, it's dark outside where you are. It's night here in Japan. It's 6:20 a.m. In Portland right now. Becky says the Oregon coast is my favorite. Cool. This keeps coming up. I think I'm going to go to Cannon Beach. At the Harley dealership yesterday. The sales guy was really interested in telling me to go to the coast. The parts guy was telling me to go to the coast. Becky, is this my Becky? You've told me to go to Cannon Beach, right? Yeah. Jenny, thank you. Someone needs to comment on your hair, top quality. Thanks. This is dry shampoo. Awesome. Awesome, Michelle, my belle. I'm glad you appreciate the tough love. We're here to talk about, okay, cool, Diane, I'll go to Cannon Beach. Maybe today. Christine says Cannon Beach is the bomb. Look for the wild rabbits. Sold. Probably today. Yeah, anyway, Seaside. That's a little bit too far from where I am. I'm in a suburb of Portland and whatever. I got stuff. I have an ecstatic dance to get to tonight. I have line dancing to get to tomorrow night. I got so much going on. Hello, Alana. Actually, let me introduce myself because I often forget to do that. Haystack Rock, that's what the guy at Harley talked about. Yeah, cool. Becky Seaside is just north. Oh, I think I'm thinking of Astoria. Anyway, my name is Jacqui Mancuso. I'm an astrologer. Today I'm joining you guys from Portland, Oregon. Today we're going to talk about 3 weeks of astrology. Lynn asked, did you get your RV? Not mine yet. Right now I'm pet sitting for a friend in Portland. Then I'm flying to meet a friend in Denver, and we're going to go travel in a rented travel trailer. So my goal is to have my own RV so I can travel the country and do this kind of stuff all the time. So because I will be in a truck and travel trailer for the next few weeks, we're going to talk about 3 weeks of astrology today. Because I don't know what kind of internet I'm going to have. So I don't have Insight Timer sessions planned. I'm coming back on Friday because I'll still be in Portland. But then until that, I won't be back until mid-November. So today we're going to talk about the astrology from today, October 23rd, until November 13th. And we're going to talk about 5 main events. This session, I'm going to say it right now, is probably going to be longer than an hour. So just heads up, get your notebooks out. 5 main events that are coming up in the next 3 weeks. First, we have the Scorpio New Moon, which happens on November 1st. Then on the 2nd, Mercury enters Sagittarius. On the 3rd, Mars enters Leo. The 4th thing that we're going to talk about, on November 7th, Mercury enters his retrograde shadow. And then lastly, we'll talk about Venus entering Capricorn on November 11th. And I will go piece by piece so that you guys can remember all those dates and whatnot. Right now, we are coming off of a heavy start to the week. The sun squared Pluto before the sun entered Scorpio. So if you've been feeling a bit drained, or if you're in the middle of a power struggle, it could be due to those events. Hello, Lori. However, the universe is going to give us a bit of a breather. There are no major aspects in the sky from today, the 23rd, until Monday, the 28th. There's literally no aspects. I don't look at all the nitty-gritty, intricate aspects. I look at the ones that are like major, right? So no major aspects between now and Monday. So thank you, universe, right? This is the time to breathe and integrate. Integrate these new emotional depths that Scorpio is going to be starting to burrow into over the next month. So relax. You got a weekend, a long weekend to relax. Then next week, both Mars and Mercury form supportive trines to Neptune. So this is going to be supportive of letting something go that we have been carrying as extra emotional baggage. All of these trines are happening in water signs, so that's why I'm bringing up the emotional part. We have Mars in Cancer, will trine Neptune in Pisces on Monday, the 28th. And then Mercury in Scorpio will trine Neptune in Pisces on Thursday, the 31st. Halloween, spooky. Mercury will form his trine to Neptune just after he opposes Uranus. So Mercury opposing Uranus, this is going to put some pressure on our minds, Mercury, to do something out of the box, Uranus. Do something unexpected. Something like let go of something that we've been holding on to for maybe decades, right? Something like to engage in radical forgiveness. Maybe I don't need to hold resentment towards this person, place, or thing anymore. And this will serve us very, very well as we approach the Scorpio new moon. So the Scorpio new moon, this occurs at 9 degrees of Scorpio. And this happens on Friday, November 1st. 11-1. Okay, so here's a 1-1-1. New beginning, fresh start, new moon. New moons are opportunities for new beginnings. They give you opportunities to take the first step down a new path. So a new moon in Scorpio offers you the first step down a path of transformation. Scorpio is the sign of death and rebirth, and only you will know where you are on your journey. So are you taking the first steps now to begin your transformation? Or are you taking the first steps as the new transformed version of yourself? If you know how to find where 9 degrees of Scorpio falls in your natal chart, this can offer you some more information in regards to the area of your life that is being most impacted by this new moon. So I invite you to sit with the feeling of the version of you who's made it, wherever they make it to, wherever you're trying to go. Sit with the version of yourself that's made it. What do they feel? What's their set point? What's their norm? How do they walk through this world? Scorpio is a water sign, and water sign is linked to emotions. So I invite you to engage yourself now in those emotions that the most accomplished, satisfied version of yourself feels most regularly. So to do that, in order to engage in feeling the way that you are desiring to feel, that might mean making choices to drop things in your life that bring you down. This is our message from Neptune and Pisces. Is it holding you back? Is it boxing you in? Maybe it's time to let it go. Sorry, I couldn't tell if it was the dogs growling or what. There may be a little bit extra pressure felt at this new moon as well, because the modern ruler of Scorpio and the traditional ruler of Scorpio, Pluto and Mars, they're going to be closing in on their exact opposition. So this Mars-Pluto opposition, it's the first in a series of 3 over the coming months. This is the only Mars-Pluto opposition that's going to happen on the Cancer-Capricorn axis. So this opposition is active at the new moon, and it will become tighter through the first few days of November. This opposition between Mars and Pluto becomes exact on the 3rd. And just to note, if you want more information specifically on the new moon in Scorpio, head to the link in my Insight Timer bio. I have a 30-minute video available for you diving deeper into this specific lunar event. Because we're going to move on to Mars-Pluto. Mars is the planet of action and aggression. Pluto is the planet of destruction and power. Oppositions can cause a push-pull, tug-of-war type energy, and this can create tension and pressure. So this opposition occurs at 29 degrees. Mars at 29 Cancer, Pluto at 29 Capricorn. This is the family axis. Cancer represents the mother, Capricorn represents the father. They're both at 29 degrees. 29th degree of a sign is called the anaretic degree. It's a degree of mastery. It's the final degree in the sign. So the energies are heightened because the planets have gained so much knowledge and wisdom about their respective signs while traveling through that entire sign. Mars in Cancer takes action based on emotion and intuition. Pluto in Capricorn empowers structure and planning. And in any aspect, the planet with the larger orbit has the larger influence. So in this case, Pluto is going to have more of an impact on how this opposition will play out for us. So really now, even end of October through the first couple weeks of November, watch your emotions, Moodiness is to be expected in yourself and in those around you. Okay, that's one of my favorite things to remember about astrology, that sometimes it's easier when you hear a transit, you're like, oh yeah, definitely, my friend definitely acted like that. And like we have our blinders up about ourselves. And sometimes the inverse, right? Sometimes we hear about a transit coming up and we're like, oh yes, that's going to be great. Now I have permission to be moody. But don't forget that astrology impacts everyone around us. So moodiness is to be expected in yourself and in those around you. This opposition, Mars-Pluto, might make you feel like you're trapped, emotionally trapped, energetically trapped. But the more we fight against the boundary, the worse it's going to get. Pluto in Capricorn wants you to empower the structures that are working for you. Pluto ain't here to trap you. None of the planets are here to hurt you, okay, ever. It can feel that way when challenging aspects like this come around, but tension always leads to growth once you quit complaining and you do something about it. Sorry. So if you feel trapped, by all means, feel the feeling, listen to the feeling, experience the feeling. I am feeling trapped. Get to know what it's trying to tell you, but watch yourself on lamenting, hanging on to, identifying with the feeling. Watch your words. I am trapped versus I feel trapped, right? Any emotion. I feel sad versus I am sad. Are you? Or is the feeling upon you? Is the feeling upon you? You are not the feeling. Just words are important. We're still talking about this Mars-Pluto opposition. I didn't realize I went so deep into this because this is going to be big. This is happening now. We're going to have another opposition the first week of January. And then we're going to have our final opposition the last week of April. So this energy is going to be around for some time. Pluto is offering you a chance to step into your personal power. That sounded very political. It's offering you a chance. What have you created for yourself that has served you well? What kinds of limits and boundaries have you placed on yourself that have benefited you? Right? Have you learned to not eat the whole sleeve of cookies before bed? Have you learned that you do need more than 4.5 hours of sleep? What boundaries and limitations have you chosen for yourself? That's what Pluto is trying to highlight here. Like, hey, you got this. You can dictate your own life. Engage with those. So after Mars and Pluto oppose each other on the 3rd, which happens at the 29th degree, that means that Mars is right there. Mars is going to move into Leo. Mars will begin his next retrograde in Leo, but that's not until December, so don't worry about that. But Mars will be in Leo from November 3rd until January 6th. And then he's going to come back to Cancer, and he's going to review whatever's happening right now. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Mars is the planet of action. Leo is the ruler of the heart. So while Mars is in Leo, heart-led action will be center stage. Leo is also the sign linked to self-expression and creation. So Mars in Leo will also bring more ambition to engage in self-expression and in artful, creative activities. Leo is where our passion lies, and many different people can be very passionate about many different things. Hi, Greg. Oh, so nice to see you. So I invite you to be aware of letting your pride get in the way while Mars is in Leo. If someone else's passions are out of alignment with yours, does that make them wrong? Or do we all have the right to act passionately in accordance with what we have learned from our personal life experiences? Do we all have the right to self-express what's true for us based on the cards that we have personally been dealt. I don't want to be a political astrologer, never have been. That's why I never bring it up. But all of this tension and this passion is happening right on the US election. I can't not talk about it. The Mars-Pluto opposition, Mars moving into passionate Leo. What I'm forecasting is a bunch of humans arguing that their leader is the better choice, and a bunch of humans forgetting that we are our own leaders. North Node is in Aries, guys. So whatever is happening out there only holds power over us when we consent to being overpowered. And you can consent by actions and neglect. So I don't want to get into it because I truly believe that all of it is complete nonsense, bread and circuses. Ask yourself what really matters. What really matters to your personal life today, here at home, in your body, in your personal awareness that you can see with your eyes. At this time as well, when we have this Mars-Pluto opposition, when Mars is entering Leo, Mercury will already be in Sagittarius. Mercury enters Sagittarius on November 2nd, where he will also have his retrograde. Mercury will be in Sagittarius until January 8th. That's 2 months. Mercury's going to be in Sag for a while. Normally, Mercury speeds through a sign in like 3 weeks, but he's going to have his retrograde there, so he's going to be chilling for a minute. Mercury is the planet of the mind. He represents our thoughts. He also represents our speech and our communication. Sagittarius is linked to truth, capital T, truth, universal truth. Sagittarius is also ruled by the largest planet, Jupiter. Therefore, Sagittarius helps us expand, helps us grow, helps us explore. Mercury in Sagittarius is a lovely time for us to expand our perspective. Search for capital T truth, not personal truth, universal truth, natural law. Yeah, never mind. You guys see my post on Instagram about that natural law snake photo? Just going to throw that out there right now. I was proud of that one. Mercury in Sagittarius offers our mind a chance to go there, to explore something new, to widen our horizon. So why not engage? On November 7th, so Mercury enters Sag on the 2nd. 5 days later, Mercury will approach his retrograde shadow, which is at 6 degrees of Sagittarius. His retrograde doesn't begin until November 25th, but between November 7th and the 25th, we'll be given a preview of what will be in review during his retrograde. So between November 7th and the 25th, might be fun, not necessary, might be fun to keep your eyes peeled to see where your mind is being tested to expand. Where are your perspectives being challenged? Are you expanding? Are you searching? The retrograde will answer those questions for you, so just know that. But it might be fun to just see where are my beliefs being challenged. Sagittarius has to do a lot with your philosophy of life. And finally, the last piece of astrology on our docket today is Venus entering Capricorn. This happens on November 11th, 11/11. Venus will be in Capricorn until December 7th. Are you guys writing down all these dates? Because there will be a quiz. Just kidding. You know, when I was a teacher, I did like a whole semester of long-term sub as a dance teacher. It's dance, right? And through the whole thing, and then I like checked in with the teacher I was taking over for, and she's like, cool, so how did their midterms go? I was like, what? Midterms? What are you talking about? I was the worst at giving quizzes and assessments. Oh my gosh. because I would just watch. I can see that you're learning. Venus in Capricorn, that starts on November 11th. Venus is currently in Sagittarius. That's why I have this big map behind me, because we're valuing exploration right now. Venus is valuing exploration. Venus right now is highlighting the beauty of inner and outer travel. When she moves into Capricorn, her value system shifts into that of more regulation. She knows what it's like to go too far. She's just experienced the growth of Sagittarius, and her curiosity has been quenched, right? So Venus in Capricorn may ask us to bring some more regulation into our lives because of what she found while exploring Sagittarius. So Venus in Capricorn may ask you to look over your budget. You might want to start thinking about your goals for 2025. Time to start setting your goalposts so that you know what you're aiming for. Maybe consider if it's time to enroll in another course. Capricorn has learned so much throughout the first 9 zodiac, Aries through Sagittarius, and now she's ready to compile it all into a plan of action in Capricorn. So my advice with Venus in Capricorn is not to become too attached to the plan or too attached to the outcome that you're striving for. Structure is a wonderful boundary, but it doesn't have to dictate your every move. There's always room to change course. There's always room to course correct. The plan is there as a guide, just as astrology is a guide. It's not a rule book. And I hope that you use all of this information in a way that truly serves you. If you'd like to revisit these themes that we just talked about, that will be coming up for the next 3 weeks. This video will be on my YouTube channel later today, and it'll be up for you to revisit, to come back to check in over these next 3 weeks. Also, if you've been enjoying today's session and would like to support, donations are always appreciated. I've worked really hard to study and translate this astrology knowledge language. It's a language of love. And honestly, your contribution helps me keep continuing to offer it to the public. So with that being said, let's transition over to the oracle portion of today's session. Anyone who does send a donation today will receive a book dive from one of the oracle decks that I used today as a thank you. We have 2 decks today, and we will be asking 2 different questions. I know that was a lot. I know that was a lot of information. Actually, let me leave it open for questions real quick, just to see if anyone needs any clarification. Becky, thank you so much for your donation. Very, very much appreciated. I feel like the biggest thing over the next 3 weeks, honestly, is that Scorpio New Moon. Because the new moon is going to set us up for that 2-week transition, right? So anytime we have a lunar event, it takes about 2 weeks to transition to the next lunar event. So the new moon in Scorpio is like the big overarching theme. And then we have Mercury moving into Sag. So your mind is going to be wanting to expand. Mars is moving into Leo. We're going to be wanting to act more through our heart and passionately express. And then Venus, right before I meet you guys back again on the 13th, Venus moves into Capricorn. And she's going to want to value the plan, but that's not going to happen for another almost 3 weeks. So explore. I invite you to explore this new transformation that we're going through. No questions. Guess that means I explained everything perfectly. So we're going to ask 2 different questions to 2 different decks. Thank you, Trina. I appreciate you. We are first going to use the Birdkin messages. Yes, is that what it's called? Birdkin Oracle deck. And since we have 3 personal planets changing signs, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, they are all personal planets. That means that they're close to us and they impact our daily lives. Outer planets are out there. They're more larger themes. Personal planets. We have 3 personal planets changing signs. So I want to ask the Birdkin Oracle, what main message does each one hold? So card number 1 from this is going to tell us what Mercury in Sagittarius has as a message for us. Second one from this is going to tell us what Mars in Leo has for us. And then the third card from this deck is going to tell us what message Venus in Capricorn has for us. So the whole reading is for everybody, right? Because we're all going to experience all of these planets ingressing into their new signs. However, maybe one of them has a stronger message for you. So feel free to send your energy into this deck, and we're tuning in with Mercury, Venus, and Mars, and asking what messages they have for us specifically over the next 3 weeks. If this is your first time with me, just know that I always do group readings, but the group readings are always for everybody. I will allow 3 cards to fall out of the deck for us. And then I know I told you which planets are associated with which cards. Try to forget that maybe if you're going to be influenced by that, because I will show you guys the backs of the cards. So you're going to see the card back image. This is plain red, whatever. I'm not going to show you the fronts of the cards yet. Then I want you to use your intuition and see if any of the cards feel different, right? Sometimes you have intuitive hunches the same way that you have in the past. Sometimes brand new stuff happens and you're like, wait, was that a message? If you just have a knowing of a number between 1 and 3 right now, that could be a message that a certain card holds a stronger message for you. If I hold up a certain card and something changes in your body, like you fart, or if you sneeze, or if you have like a tingle, or your belly groans, that could be a message. Your earrings, or if anything in your environment changes when I hold up a certain card, that could be your larger energy body working with you to change your environment. So things like if your cat jumps on your lap, or your doorbell rings, or you get a text message, or your kid calls you from the other room. These are all ways that our universe is communicating with us. So if you don't feel any change when I hold up the cards, your intuition is not broken. It just means that the whole reading holds an equal amount of importance for you. So I'll show you the backs of the 3 cards, and then I would like you to let us know in the chat which cards resonate most strongly with you all. I have to say that when I host on Insight Timer, I have a progress timer right on the top so I could see the countdown. And today I have looked at the counter at 11:11, 22:22, and also 33:33. So we're having a good day today. Okay. As the personal planets change signs, what main message does each one hold? And I will not remind you of the planets that are associated with each card. So what are the strongest messages for you today? Here is the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. Let us know in the chat which cards are calling to you today. And I'll ask the question, or I'll show the cards one more time. As the personal planets change signs, what is the main message from each of them? Here again is the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. Oh, you know what's interesting is, yeah, I just said the 111222333. We have 3 cards, so that's really cool. Because Misty said I've had 333 come up 2 days in a row, 3 times. That's awesome. Oh my gosh, Stephanie woke up and making coffee. I have been counting that 3rd scoop of coffee a few times, and also heard you say 333 as I type, so 3 it is. That's so cool. All right. Let's see. Susan 2, Mari 1, Allison Strong 1, also 3. Trina 1, 3. Michelle Mybell, all 3 today. Sharon 1. Nicole, all 3. Megan 1. Christine 2 and 3. Julie 3. Lori 2 and 3. Lisa, my dog nudged me on 1 both times. Interesting. Nicole 2 and 3. April must need all 3. Just joined. Welcome, April. You have a lot of information that will be available on YouTube to catch up. We just talked about 3 weeks of astrology. Chris 2 and 3. Karen 2 and 3. Jenny 3. Hello, Melinda. Welcome. Christine, my iPhone announced 333 to me the other day. Never had that happen before. What? Okay. Sophia, hello, all 3. Milton, Sophia, I've been meaning to talk to you about Milton, Hurricane Milton. I was like, wow, Sophia, I wonder if that has anything to do with that. Sophia and I found a guide of hers together whose name is Milton. So that was just in the back of my mind the whole time, and I've been meaning to reach out to you. Chantel, 2 water drop, 3 solar plexus active. Interesting. Melinda sees 333 a lot. Love it. Michelle, the welcome committee, welcoming April, Melinda, and Sophia. Cool. All right. So as Mercury enters Sagittarius, this is card number 1. What message does he hold? So Mercury in Sagittarius. Oh my God, I've been up for hours. Mercury in Sagittarius is here to help us expand our mind, to align our thoughts with universal truth. Okay. So card number 1, the message that Mercury in Sag has for us is card number 18, and the message is peacock. The main message is miracle. The bird is peacock. The message is miracle. Curate your experience as a human in such a miraculous way that it nourishes you to serve the outside world. Believe in the idea that the supernatural happens every day. What will happen for you is not what is aesthetically pleasing, but the pure magic that comes with getting what you genuinely need. The peacock is offering a mystic experience, helping you to journey into authenticity. So Mercury in Sagittarius wants you to focus on the miracles in your life. What I think is interesting about this is the progression of astrology, right? The story of astrology. Mercury right now is in Scorpio. Scorpio comes before Sagittarius. Scorpio is the sign of depth. Scorpio is death and rebirth. Scorpio is where magic and mysticism comes from. So through Mercury's time in Scorpio, he is engaging in a lot of magic. I've been noticing a shit ton of magic in my life, especially over the last 3 weeks. So magic is here, but as Mercury moves into Sagittarius linked with universal truth, capital T truth, Mercury wants you to remember that that magic is still available for you. The miracle is still there. It might not be the way that you want it to look in the moment, but it's always what's absolutely for you, right? The election. It might not look the way that you want it to look, but it's all there for you, right? Everything is always happening for you. The supernatural happens every day. So sometimes the worst things in our lives are what thrust us into the best moments of our lives. Mercury in Sagittarius wants you to expand your perspective and look for the miracle. Look for the miracle in everything. Love that. Oh, Christine, when you got that 333, you were asking for a sign from Richter, and it was your Apple Watch. That's crazy. Didn't 3 have something? No, he was 13. 3 reminds me of him a little bit. Misty is a Scorpio. Well, happy early birthday. Lisa loves that card. Let me see if there's anything else in that card. Journey into authenticity. Journey into authenticity. Mercury in Sagittarius. Find your truth by expanding and experience the truth of everything else around you. Card number 2. What message does Mars in Leo have for us? Mars in Leo, November 3rd, wants us to act through our heart, act through passionate self-expression. Mars in Leo brings the message, card number 31, from Magpie, and the message is sanctuary. It's time to create a safe space within your home, your body, your words, and your heart. The magpie shows us how to be a guardian. This is a sacred responsibility and precious gift in the world. It would be beneficial to ask, how do I hold safeness within myself in order to offer it to others? To be vulnerable, we must be protected. Again, this feels like Mars in Leo is bringing us the Mars in Cancer energy, and he wants to bring it through Leo. Mars in Cancer. Cancer is about the home. Cancer is the sign that represents being protected, being safe, right? It's the crab shell. You have your hard outer shell to carry around with you everywhere that you go. So Mars in Leo wants to make sure that you feel safe within yourself first. Do you feel at home in your heart? Do you know who you are, right? Mercury in Sag, do you know how to be authentic? Magpie, do you feel safe within your authenticity in order to express yourself? Whoo! This just came through because if you have an issue with other people expressing themselves in the way that they want to express themselves, could be because you're not comfortable with your own self-expression. So it's not that the whole world has to change to make you comfortable. It's that you got to learn to love and own yourself and own your own expression and be able to put it out there and say, this is me. I am unique. This is me. And how do you create that sanctuary practice? Letting yourself go, like letting yourself go in the means of expressing, being authentic, letting the world see your true passion. It's scary sometimes when your passions don't align with everything else going on around you. That doesn't mean to coward and hide. It means to get more secure in what you stand for, get more secure in what you believe in, what you are passionate about, so that you can express it. We're talking about dreams here. Sophia said both my partner and I had nightmares last night. Deep dark shit. Welcome to Scorpio season. Woo! Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh man, it's coming back. I had a dream that I neglected to write down. And now, I had a dream that this little Chihuahua mix that I'm watching, I was outside with him, Slipknot, the other dog that I'm watching, and then someone let Piston out, my big boy at home. But I was on the ice, and there was like a ice fishing hole, and then a girl rode up in her snowmobile to like ask me a question, and she just wouldn't stop talking, and Belly fell into the ice hole. 4444. Look, I saw 4 of them today. Oh, it's crazy. Belly fell into this ice hole, and he was like just calmly reaching his little paws up, like, hey, I need help. And I was like reaching in to try to get him, and this girl was like talking, asking me questions, and then Piston was running out towards me, and I was just like, ah. That was my dream last night. Michelle Mybell said she dreamt of Justin Bieber last night. What kind of dream was that? Sharon, yes, Magpie was the second card. Lisa loved it. Hello, Jessica, joining late. All good. Lisa, North Node is in Leo. So Lisa, what I would recommend for you is, I know you can do it. I know you can do it. It's a little daunting. There's this thing called an ephemeris, EPH, ephemeris. It's how you look up astrology ahead of time. And it's this big table full of symbols and numbers. But I would look to see when Mars will be transiting your North Node, if your North Node is in Leo. And anyone else, if you have any planets or placements in Leo, you can look to see when Mars is going to be passing over them. This is going to energize whatever the themes of those planets are. So North Node in Leo, that's like your destiny. That's what your soul is here to learn. That's like your final exam for your soul. So if Mars is energizing that, it's going to be like, oh, it's time to grow. It's time to act from the heart. It's time to express. Sophia has Chiron in Leo. It's time to heal what you think is wrong with yourself. Oh, I love that. Jessica last night had a very vivid dream as well, but nice things. Cool. Stephanie, the way you said, whoa, I walked away for a second, thought I heard an owl. That's awesome. Misty Slipknot. Yeah, that's my friend Phil. He's awesome. He's just so quirky and great. But yeah, Slipknot is like this little terrier mix. And his name is Slipknot. I'm dog sitting. It's not my dog. Becky's husband had a dog nightmare too, that he lost our dog. Interesting. Lisa thought I sounded like an owl too. You know, I'll own that. Christine, I've been dreaming about lions, and that was a particular sign I asked for from Richter. I used to call him my little lion boy. Christine, you're so connected. Every time you ask him for a sign, I feel like you're just, yep, and he did this for me. Oh, yep, and he did this for me too. Like, that's awesome. Hannah has your IC in Leo. That's the basement of your chart. That's where you feel most at home. Hannah, did card number 2 resonate with you? Because my God, that is exactly what Mars in Leo wants you to do, is find your soul's comfort. Where does your soul feel at home? I did tell you guys we're going to be here for more than an hour today. We're about to read card number 3, and then I have a second deck to ask a second question. So I'm just letting you know that. Stephanie, I was on a hike and lost people. Weirdest dream. I was able to touch, feel, and hold things. Felt the weight or pressure of holding stuff. Yeah, that's cool. That's amazing. That sounds like you are learning to dream much more deeply. It's a cool skill to utilize. Card number 3, as the personal planets change signs, which message does each hold? Card number 3 is bringing us to Venus's message while she moves into Capricorn. This doesn't happen until November 11th. Venus in Capricorn is helping us value structure and boundaries and limitations and plans. Rhonda, thank you so kindly for your donation. It's very much appreciated. So card number 3, a message from Venus in Capricorn. This is card number 29 from Bluebird, and the message is offerings. Offerings are one of the most important expressions of gratitude. What are you called to give, and in what space? Some of us are asked to adorn our altars with flowers, fruits, and herbs. Others might need to be by bodies of water, mountains, or deserts. Regardless of how you choose to honor those in spirit, make it with intention. Gifts are a tangible part of reciprocal relationships. Venus in Capricorn. Offering gifts, a plan to offer gifts, a structure to offer. It makes sense, but I'm trying to tie it in. Why would Venus in Capricorn be telling us to give more gratitude to our world? So Capricorn is an earth sign. And I noticed that this card is talking about honoring from nature, right? Using flowers, herbs, fruits to adorn our altars, offering your energy to bodies of water, mountains, deserts, whatever your natural landscape is. This feels like a general sense of gratitude for the earth around you. Venus values in Capricorn earth. So how do you appreciate the most basic thing that we are all gifted, that we may take advantage of, we may take for granted? I get to have clean drinking water 24/7, like that's pretty cool. It's free. I mean, for the most, it's not free because we live in a society that charges us for it. But if I go to a spring, it's free. uh, Sunshine is free. That's one of my favorite feelings in the world, is having sun on my skin. How might you be taking for granted the things that are offered to you by Earth? And how can you offer gratitude for it? Yes. Yeah. I went on my rant the other day. I can't remember exactly when it was. I know I was here in Portland. I went on my rant the other day about when you keep asking the universe for more. I need more. I don't have enough. I want to make more money. I want to have a bigger house. I want to have a better car. And then have you looked at your closet jam-packed with clothes and shoes? Have you looked at your pantry jam-packed with food that's been sitting there for years that you haven't touched? Are you blinded to everything that you already have because you keep wanting more? Or are you able to step into true gratitude for everything that you do have? Right? So like if you are on this path of I want to earn more money, I want to have a higher salary, it doesn't necessarily mean to give gratitude for the low salary you make now. Give gratitude to literally everything that you have in your life. Oh man, I'm breathing air today that there's not smoke in from forest fires. Hell yeah. Thank you. That's amazing, right? Hell yeah, I have these shoes that aren't broken and my feet can be protected when I walk through the ice, even though I hate the ice. You know what I'm saying? Like this, I feel like this Bluebird card, Venus and Capricorn, is value what you already have. And that will help you achieve the goals that you are going to set as Venus moves through Capricorn. Does that make sense? What else are you guys talking about? Sophia says that's so interesting. My descendant and North Node are in Cap, but I'm a very Venusian person. That's right, Taurus Libra. Misty, water resonates. Selene and Whale Spirit has been talking to me. Awesome. Awesome. Go say thank you. Go say thank you. Stephanie says Bluebird was a street I used to live on. I have many things that link to Bluebird. That's so cool. And Christine says, OMG, Stephanie, I see the blue butterfly on your kitty's nose. That is the sign I asked for when it was time to help my cat Richter to transition. That's crazy. Michelle, I think we take so much for granted in this world. Yeah, we've kind of been trained. Our society has trained us to want more, to achieve more, to reach for more. It's never enough. You need that thing. You also need that thing. Dwindling down all of my possessions to make them fit in an RV has been the most freeing thing I have ever done, and it feels amazing. It feels so good. It feels so good. You don't need things. You need to get in touch with yourself. Misty says, I've really been connecting with the season and the way fall is going into its change, and lots of things are changing for me. I just got rid of everything that doesn't bring me joy. Amazing. Neptune is finishing his time in Pisces. He's saying, like, just let it go. Whatever it is, it's going to be a lot of things. Stephanie yesterday had thoughts about gratitude. When I am in gratitude, I find myself more joyful. Gratitude is where it's at. Mm-hmm. Christine, thank you so much for your donation. If you guys have been enjoying today's session, if you'd like to offer an exchange of energy in the form of a donation, they're always appreciated. You can donate right here on Insight Timer, or I do have various PayPal, Venmo, other things available in the link in my Insight Timer bio. I super appreciate all the support for you guys. It helps me come back and continue to share my knowledge with you guys. And everyone who donates is going to receive a book dive, either from the Birdkin or from the second deck that we're about to use. Surprise, what is it? We're going to use one more deck to ask one more question. 5555. The second question we're going to ask today, we're going to use the Divine Masters Oracle deck, and we're going to ask which Divine Master wants to assist us as we transform during this Scorpio New Moon. Which Divine Master wants to assist us as we transform during this Scorpio New Moon? And I do have a feeling that this is going to give us more information about these bird cards, because I do want to recap all of them before we head off. So feel free to send your energy into this deck, one card, one Divine Master that wants to assist all of us as we transform. It was actually kind of fun to only I brought 5 decks with me to Portland. I'm seeing all 6 of my coaching clients this week. I'll have done 4 Insight Timer sessions while I'm here, and it's cool to only have 5 decks, so I have to be picky and choosy. That is one of the things that I have a plethora of, are decks, but I do utilize them all, and I am grateful for them all, and I do try to use them as often as I can for different events. But it's been fun to be limited. Sometimes it's fun to stretch yourself by limiting yourself. Jane, the first deck is called the Birdkin Messages. Second deck is the Divine Masters Oracle. Which Divine Master wants to assist us as we transform during the Scorpio New Moon, which officially happens on November 1st? This time, guys, it is the Atlanteans. So we get a whole team of people to assist us. The Atlanteans bring the evolution vibration. Legacy, technology, progress. Expect acceleration. Legend has it that Atlantis was an advanced civilization that existed thousands of years ago in the center of the Atlantic Ocean. Its people were highly evolved and had many spiritual gifts. They were telepathic, psychic, and known for their ability to combine the laws of science and nature with spirituality, to develop technology and create heaven on earth. But somewhere along the way, many of them stopped respecting their gifts and spiritual connection. This caused a great cataclysm that brought their civilization to an end. The Atlanteans of this card are those who continued to live with spiritual integrity and awareness. When Atlantis came to an end, many of these beings ascended beyond the physical dimension and now act as a congregation of evolved souls who, like angels, work with those who are following the spiritual path and want to leave a legacy of light. You are a future thinker who will leave a legacy of healing and light. Think beyond boundaries and keep your future and the future of your close ones in mind when it comes to making a decision. Atlantean energy is here to help you align your pathway with one that supports the evolution of your soul and your family lineage. This is a time of transcending old ways of being and old patterns, so it might not always be easy to navigate, but it will be worth it in the long run. Ideas, creativity, and new technological concepts are all around you now. When it comes to forging new pathways, think of the future. Cut out any long-winded approaches and streamline everything you are doing. This is a time of evolution, and so there's a good chance of resistance from old energies and the ego. If you feel challenged or encounter growing pains, know that you're on the right track. Persevere. So as we transform during the Scorpio New Moon, it is the Ascended Atlanteans who are going to be here to support us. These are the Atlanteans who have, I don't want that word, successfully blended technology and spiritual pursuits, right? Technology and advancements with their spiritual without letting one overtake the other. This is like the epitome of balance. So as we transform, I feel like the Atlanteans are going to be here to help us make sure that we balance our spiritual integrity along with any new advancements that we're making. Is it time to let go of patterns that may have served you in the past that are not serving you now? That is the key to transformation. You have to let go of what used to work for you so that you can step into what does work for you. And this card, the balance keeps coming up. It's not about letting go of all of your worldly personal life and focusing all on your spiritual part. And it's not about neglecting your spiritual part and working all on the science and industry part of your life. It's about keeping a beautiful blend of both so that you can use them together to support each other, because they are meant to support each other. So how are you transforming both in the physical and the spiritual aspect of wherever 9 degrees of Scorpio falls in your chart? If you don't know how to find that, just forget that part and just sit with what's happening in your life right now. How are you transforming? Are you transforming the physical as well as the spiritual? Or is one taking over? Right? You can do, a lot of people can get addicted to spirituality and do all the spiritual work, right? Oh, I'm meditating every day. Oh, I'm aligning my chakras every day. I wore this essential oil today. I must be saved. Why doesn't my life look different? Because you got to make the changes. You have free will and personal power to act differently. That's the point of doing this spiritual work, right? And then it also comes to the physical, right? So if you're working on the physical, you're growing the corporate ladder, you're starting your own business, you're doing all this stuff, you upgraded your house, you have this new relationship, new car. Are you walking around thinking that you're better than everybody else because you have all these great things, right? Where's your humility? Where does your humbleness come from? Are you working both the physical and the spiritual? I feel like if there is a part of you that you have been working on transforming for some time, this card might be a clue that you're putting more weight on one than the other. Sit with that. Sit with that. What part of your life have you been trying to transform? Has one side been outbalanced? Have you been putting more effort on the spiritual? Have you been putting more effort on the physical? And just sit with it. There's no pressure to be perfect today. It's okay. We're humans. We're here to make mistakes. That's the whole point of the human experience. So I'm going to need this book again to remind me of these messages because I'm not that familiar with this bird deck just yet. We got Miracle. That was about authenticity. We got Sanctuary, that's right, and we got Offerings. Okay, so Mercury in Sagittarius wants you to hang on to the magic that we got through Mercury in Scorpio, to remember that magic happens every day, even if it doesn't look like magic. It is, because everything is magical. So by acting as your true, authentic self, you will tap into the magic because you are the magic. Peacock. Mars in Leo wants us to feel like we have sanctuary within our own self-expression, our own passions. Catch yourself if you are being judgmental of the expression and passions of people who are different than you. That may be a sign that you are not fully confident in your expression. So find your confidence, find what you stand for, so that you can feel safe to fully express who you are. Venus in Capricorn wants us to remember to give thanks to everything that we do have. And I feel that this came really, really deep to a base earth level. Giving thanks to the soil that you are able to grow your food in, giving thanks to the farmers that grow all of your food that you eat, or giving thanks to the chemical plants that create all the processed food that you eat. You know, it's there for you. Just give thanks to it. Venus in Capricorn, this is offerings. The Magpie card talked about offerings, offering your gratitude, offering thanks to the things that you appreciate. And that gratitude and thanks can come in many different ways. It can be an earthly representation. If you have an abundance of something, give it. The more you put it out, the more what you need will come back to you, right? I kind of miss my chickens. That was always my offering. And give people a dozen fresh eggs, lights up their life. Whatever you have an abundance of is a good thing to give to the universe. If you have an abundance of compassion, what can you do with that compassion? Do you have an abundance of wise words? What can you do with those wise words? And all of this is happening while we are transforming with this Scorpio new moon. And the Atlanteans are here to support us as we transform into whatever desired version of ourselves we want to be. The Atlanteans want us to make sure that we are balancing the spiritual with the tangible. Are you focusing on both? They got you. And this is the evolved Atlanteans, right? The ones who made it through the destruction of Atlantis. So let me know what you guys thought about this. Let me know what your biggest takeaways were from this. This is a big, long chat. Misty says, I've been donating all the things I'm not keeping. I do love that. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Yeah, I love getting rid of stuff. If it's garbage, I'll throw it out. But if it has use, I love taking it elsewhere. Sophia, this Scorpio new moon is in your 5th house. You are transforming the way that you self-express, the way that you create. April, that's called spiritual bypassing. Focusing on one and not the other. Just. Christine, the Atlantis card resonated deeply with you. I love that. Sophia, this is exactly how I feel about my engineering studies. I know they will merge with my spiritual path for me to evolve in new ways. I enjoy that. I like that. Karen and Letitia, thank you guys so kindly for your donations. If anyone else would like to offer donations today, exchanges of energy, they're always appreciated. And it comes with a book dive from one of the 2 books that we used today. So little mini personal readings as a thank you, as an offering for your gratitude, for your support. Misty says, the transformation and peace I'm going into with my changes are right where I'm supposed to be. We are always right where we're supposed to be, even if it doesn't feel like it. The more I learn astrology, the more I talk about astrology, the more I feel into the energies of each specific planet, the more I honestly trust that, like, I'm good. They got me. This is what they're going to do. They're going to make it feel a little difficult, but that doesn't mean that my life is exploding. 724. I like that number. Michelle Mybell, my takeaway was that everything in my life serves a purpose. The pain, the anger, the joy, the hurt, and that I have to allow myself to let it out and free myself of the chains that were passed down to me, and that I have the power and support of the universe and my people. Beautiful. Beautifully put, Michelle. And I agree with everything. I validate you. Trina, being my authentic self allows me to tap into magic. Yes. there's more there, and I just don't know if it's ready yet. Being your authentic self allows you to tap into magic. Yes, because you are magic, and if you try to be somebody else, if you try to stand up for things that you don't really stand up for because everyone around you is standing up for it, so that must mean I'm a bad person if I don't stand up for this, then your magic isn't going to work because you're not shining your authentic light. Like that. Like that, like that. Christine, mine is in the 9th house. Higher education, spirituality, distant travel, and exploring. How are you transforming the way that you expand? Trina lives with peacocks on your street. I love that. Love that. Thank you, Christine. Susan, thank you very much for your donation. Very much appreciated. Nice to see you, Jackie. Michelle, my bell, thank you. You've been such a pivotal point in my life to allow these changes and that I'm not too cuckoo. I mean, I'm batshit, so join the clan. Becky, new moon in your 1st house. So you are transforming into a new version of yourself, your sense of self. 11111. It was 1 hour, 11 minutes, 11 seconds. Who do you want to be? Step into it. I know that that's basic, but it really is that easy. This is what complicates things. Karen, the message of Atlantis has been coming up for me recently. This was a great confirmation and reminder for me. So cool. Misty, I've had to cut back on my magical practice, but I realized it's in me and just what I do daily. Yes, it's not always about the ritualistic things. It's not always about sitting down and having these moments. Those are great and they serve a purpose. And when they've run their course, they've run their course. The point is to bring it into your daily 3D life. As much as we all want to ascend to 5D, if we did that, we would lose our physical body. You have to play with both. Jackie, wow, I was just creating a Pinterest board on peacocks this morning. Looks like Mercury and Sag is going to be great for you. I will be back here on Friday the 25th. We are going to do Simply cards on Friday. That will probably lead us through the next few weeks. I don't know. We'll see what comes up. Those have been fun. Those just card days have been super fun. Then after that, my next scheduled event is November 13th, Wednesday, November 13th. So that is because I'm going to be traveling in a truck and trailer around the Southwest US, and I don't know when I'm going to have access to internet. So I may or may not drop some events on Insight Timer. So keep your eyes peeled. Insight Timer does require me to schedule 48 hours ahead of time. So it's not like I'm just going to drop it and show up live. I do have to schedule at least 48 hours ahead of time. So just keep your eyes out. I don't know if I'm going to schedule anything or not. Maybe you'll have a pop-up. Okay, so I've also been playing with the idea, and maybe I need to put it out there and see how it's received. The other day I was meditating, and I had a huge wave of inspiration to do like a pop-up virtual ecstatic dance. I've been doing a whole bunch of ecstatic dance in my life recently. And when I meditate, so here's my trick. Here's what I've been doing lately. I turn on Spotify. This is my playlist, and I'm just going to share it with you guys. There's a song by Beautiful Chorus called Pachamama. That song, hit the 3 dots, start a station, shuffle. That's what I meditate to. It's my favorite. It's just great. Everything in there, it just like brings me exactly to where I want to be. So I was meditating the other day, and I don't remember which song came on, but I was like, man, this would be great to have in an ecstatic dance flow. Oh man, maybe I should do that. Oh man, if I can get this internet figured out, maybe I can host an online ecstatic dance while I'm somewhere cool in nature. So let's see. Thank you, Chris. I can't remember if I said thank you for your donation. Lori says fun. Trina, yes, yes, yes. Linda, yes, that would be amazing. Christine, fun. Jackie, have to check out the ecstatic dance on the rock in Sedona. Sedona's on our list. Cool. Jackie's game to dance. April, I dance to I Am Beautiful. I am. by beautiful chorus. I am. Cool. Christina's just thinking Sedona. That might be in the works. Okay, so if this is going to be a thing, that's right, Violet. I don't think I will be available. I don't want to commit to anything if I don't know what my internet's going to be like. Sorry, I didn't reply to your email. I've been nuts lately. If you want to know about this ecstatic dance, be sure to be on my email list. I will, I'm going to send an email about this. Because it's going to be probably off of Insight Timer. Ecstatic Dance Party, Michelle, that's right. In my Insight Timer bio, click on my link tree. One of those first links is how to sign up for my email list. So if you're not on it, hop on there. And then if this is going to happen, I will send information of how to sign up there. My thought was to do it while I'm in the Denver area. And actually, Matt's idea was, why don't we do it at Red Rock? And that would be pretty cool. Red Rocks. I always forget if it's plural or singular. But then we got to figure out internet. And if I'm able to stream video off of a hotspot, those are all things that need to be in the works. So no promises, floating the idea. Glad that you guys are super interested. You guys are awesome. So if you don't have internet, you could record it and throw it up on YouTube as an ecstatic dance meditation. I like the live. The whole thing with ecstatic dance and the communities that I've been engaging in, they set a really cool container, right? It's a safe space to express. They talk about a whole bunch of consent, which is really cool. A lot of them, like you learn how to go up to people and say no, like, no, I don't want to dance with you. That we practice that before we even start dancing. So that makes us feel real cool to just like do whatever our bodies want to do. And then some of the rules are there's no talking on the dance floor. Like if you want to have a conversation with words, you have to leave because this is a space of bodily expression. They encourage like hooting, hollering, screaming, laughing, crying, like whatever else comes out, just no words. But then my favorite is that there are no photos or videos allowed. So there's like no trace. You go there, you express, you walk away. So part of me like doesn't want this to be recorded at all. So that's why part of me wants this to just be on Zoom. So we can all be there. You can have your video on if you want. You can turn it off if you want. But it's not going to be recorded. It's just going to happen and then it's over. So that's kind of why I like that idea. But anyway, every Tuesday evening, is that the Sedona? Ecstatic Dance on the Rock in Sedona. I'm going to keep that in the back of my mind. Okay, guys, I have to go so I can edit this before my client today. I'll be back on Friday for cards. I'm going to end over here. See ya.